Hey guys, welcome to a recap of The Bachelorette episode 5. And for me, all shows should have a title. So I'm gonna call this episode 5 Poor Baby, Poor Baby, Poor Baby. Our girl Charity. She was going through a whole roller coaster. I was going through a whole roller coaster. The guys were doing too much. Yeah, there was good moments, but I felt like there was so many dramatic moments, unnecessary moments. But let's get into this because these guys were doing way too much and not enjoying the backdrop, which is in Nola, baby. We in Nola, okay? So I felt like we should be enjoying the bayonets, the hot chocolate, but instead we get the foolery. I am so let down by some of these guys, but let's get into it. Let's get into it. So Miss Charity, she meets up with the men who are waiting for her at the cafe. And I'm surprised to learn that we're getting the first one on one date, and it is with Joey. Now, Joey, he's even shocked and gagged that he is getting this one on one date because he already had a one on one date, and a whole bunch of other guys haven't had a one on one date with Miss Charity. And Hometowns is coming right around the corner. It's the next episode. So these guys are like, him and not me. So I feel for these guys, but I know that Charity really, 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 really likes Joey. And for me, I was enjoying this whole moment, this whole date with Joey until I saw the preview for the next episode. And y'all, let's get into it. Let's ease onto it. But at that moment, I was so excited for our girl because she was so smitten. She was so happy, all booed up with Joey on this horse carriage ride, enjoying New Orleans, enjoying the ambiance, the vibes, the poetry, all of it, the tarot reading. I don't know. I have to look back. What did the tarot lady say? Guys, let me know that in the comments down below. But I felt like we should have seen this coming, unless, I don't know. I don't want to jump into things prematurely. But I felt like I was enjoying this date with Joey and Miss Charity. He was so into her, so booed up to her. Like, you saw how they were close together on the horse carriage, and he had that hands on her butt, and he was holding onto her, giving her kisses. I was feeling that whole moment. I said, okay, Tennis Bay. Okay, Tennis Bay. I forgot your last episode, but clearly I thought you were giving out your real self. Your real self. So they have a dinner and it's crunch time because Miss Charity's having all the fun, but let's get into crunch time. We need to ask the serious questions here. And that is, how does Joey feel about being in an interracial relationship? And mind you, let's look at Joey. Joey shares that this is his first time with a black woman, dating a black woman. So oof, this is gonna be a quick learning curve for him. So Charity, she expresses that in her past interracial relationship, she did not recognize herself. And I could completely understand her, what's her mindset. And, she realized that that person lacked awareness and they also showed ignorance. And she doesn't want to have to deal with that. And no one should. You don't want to feel you have to prove yourself to nobody for anything. You just want to be yourself, be happy, and be in a loving relationship. So Joey says that, for him, he's new to this, but he shows desire to learn about his partner, which is Charity. He wants to grow into this relationship, not only for Charity and for this relationship, but for his future kids with Charity. And I'm like, okay, cute. That's a cute little answer because you didn't have to say all that. And mind you, he did add, he said that his family will be nothing but more embracing towards Charity. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. You can say that all you want, but you don't know until you're actually in that situation, in that scenario. So I was a little bit worrisome, but how he was answering the questions, it gave me a little bit of confidence. And I'm like, Tennis Bay cannot let us down. But when I saw that preview of his family member or someone from his tribe saying that, Charity, do you think you're experiencing the real Joey? I am gagged. I'm gagged. I'm like, what does this mean? I'm like, is there something to be worried about? Because for them, the family is the first time that he's bringing home a black woman. So that's going to be a whole experience in itself. Okay. Because they're like, who is this you're bringing home? So we'll see how accepting they are. But Tennis Bay, you on a little bit of a notice, and I'm a little bit worried because I don't want our girl to be heartbroken because she just should just be herself. She should just be herself in that hometown visit. She shouldn't feel like she has to prove her validity as a woman, as a person to date their son, their friend, their brother, She just be herself and let the people reveal who they are. If they're not accepting and not embracing, that's nothing to do with you. It's only to do with them. And if anything, we got our girls back, so we don't play about charity. So we have Tennis Bay under review. Joey, you are under review. You on pause for me. You are on pause. So yeah, I was happy after that date, but when I saw the preview for the next episode, I was a little bit shaken, and I saw how dramatic that whole situation was for Miss Charity. I don't want these guys to give her stress. No, no. I was so excited. There was so much potential because I see like the potential, the way they were hugging up on each other. I saw the potential. You cannot fake the funk in that. But who knows? Some of these guys, they're really clever, very tactful. Like, So, we got her back, and let's move on because the guys back at home in the hotel, they're feeling fussy wussy. They are big mad because why Joey got to be on this date? Particularly, Sean. Our Kendall, he is not too excited that Joey's on this date. He has not got a one-on-one date, and he feels that, time is crunching, is coming close. And he wants to have that connection with Charity too. He feels he has a connection, but he wants to share it. He wants that confirmation. He wants that reassurance that all these other guys are getting that he has yet to receive. And also in the same boat is Aaron. Aaron, this is his hometown. Apparently, he says it's his hometown, but I thought he was from California. But apparently, we're meeting his. Oh, I'm gonna spoil it. We're Aaron gets a rose, and shockingly, I'm shocked. And his family's over in Texas, so it's a bit all over the place. But he's big mad that Charity didn't ask him. Not big mad. Actually, he was pretty cool about it. He was like kind of, ugh, why didn't I get it? I could have shown you the town. I could have showed you around these spots, okay? And Tanner, baby, Tanner, you letting me down. Tanner, he's just being shy and reserved. He's not really giving too much emotion. He's not letting his heart out there like that. I think he's afraid to be vulnerable, but he is not shining in these situations. The only time we know what's going on in Tanner's mind is in these confessionals, because in the scenes he's not scening, okay? In the scenes he's not scening, but in these confessionals he's confessing, okay? He is confessing, and that's when he actually shares what's going on in his head. And I just feel for Tanner because Tanner, he's a little cutie pie for me. He's a cutie pie, and I feel like, baby, you gotta shine, you gotta show it, you gotta let it be, okay? So yeah, so surprise, 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 the guys get a date card. And they are so gagged, particularly Sean, that is not a one-on-one date. It's actually a two-on-one date, and it's gonna be with Tanner and Sean. Oh Lord, I feel so bad. I feel so bad, particularly for Sean, because Sean says he wants that one-on-one. He wants his time to shine. He is sick and tired of going on dates with these other men. He wants Charity to himself. And of course, Tanner, he's cool and calm about it. And I feel like that's kind of a little bit telling because I'm not sure how Tanner would handle himself in a one-on-one with Charity. But what we have seen so far, we have yet to see what's the connection, what's the commotion all about. And Sean, he thinks he knows the whole operation. He feels like he got the whole plot all figured out. He feels that this two-on-one is a scenario in which only one guy will get the rose and the other will be automatically eliminated. Isn't he so smart? But I feel like it kind of shows Sean being a little bit too much calculating and not actually experiencing and going through the moment of this process. Go with your heart, not with your mind, I would advise. But the gag is that this cute little swamp date is not an elimination date. Actually, it's opportunity for Charity to get more clarity on these guys and where they at and how they feel about her. Now, Tanner, he's gonna give what Tanner has been giving, which is, not much. He's reserved, he's shy, and I'm like, honey, you need to shine. I don't understand. You tall, you good looking, but you need to speak. You need to say what's on your mind. You need to profess your love. Now, Sean, Sean, he's not in this for. It didn't seem like he was showing all his interest for the sake of love. To me, how I received how Sean was acting, that he was highly interested in winning this competition. He sought out to eliminate Tanner, send him home. I did not feel like Sean was giving all he could, in a sense that it's just him and Charity at the end of the day, okay? Because it doesn't matter who's on the date. It should matter how, your connection is growing with Charity. Now, in my opinion, I felt like the swamp guy was giving more interest into Charity than to these guys, okay? So I felt like the swamp guy could have got a rose. But this date does not actually end with anyone receiving the rose. Charity expresses that, she needs more time to really sit down and think. And, I love how Charity sits and reflects in real time. Like, I like how she, she's reflecting and she does this nod thing and like confirmation and or no. Like, I like that we get the real time, emotion from Charity. She is so cute. Oh my gosh, she reminds me of, I'm gonna tell you, let's talk about that later. But anyways, so it's the end of the day. The guys go back. And of course, Sean, he's in his emotions. He is in his emotion. But to really set it off for Sean, he finds out that that Dalton is getting a one-on-one date. That sets him off. That he's like, really? He gets another one-on-one date and not him. So Sean is in his whole feelings. He is not happy at all. So he makes a return back over to Miss Charity to express that, he really felt like he could have got that rose. Like, he wants that confirmation, just like the other guys have been receiving, to go and proceed with the hometown visits. Which I'm like, okay, are you kind of giving Miss Ma'am, I almost call her Tina Lawson, Miss Charity Lawson an ultimatum? Because it felt like it was an ultimatum. And Charity, she says to him that, she just, her other relationships, they're more developed, more ahead than compared to her relationship with Sean, and she just feels like she needs more time. Next thing you know, you see Sean walking it back. He's doing reverse, back it up, back it up, back it up. He is saying, oh no, let's not give up on us. Let's continue to develop our connection. I just need that one-on-one time with you. And he's trying to convince Charity that, he's still in this. He just wants more time. He wants more of Charity's heart. But our girl says it's time for you to go home in the most polite way possible. And Sean is like shocked because he did not see that coming, but I did. I definitely did. Like, come on, what did you expect? You think you're gonna give an ultimatum to the Bachelorettes? You really gonna give the ultimatum to the Bachelorette? She's the Bachelorette, okay? So no, Sean, I'm sorry. You have been eliminated. And Charity, she walks him home. Well, not home, to his cab or to wherever he gotta go. But he is eliminated from this situation. So, Sean, I had high hopes for you, Kendall, but it just wasn't it this time. We'll hear more from you in the reunion. I look forward to seeing him again, actually, because I know he's the one that's gonna give you the drama, at least compared to Tanner. Okay, guys. So we get this surprise one-on-one date with Dalton. Her one-on-one date with Dotem. I did not see that coming because I thought, okay, they had a cute little date last episode. So I was so shocked that, we're getting another little moment with these two. And to me, you guys, this is it. This is it. This is it. He is leading amongst all these guys, there's no competition to Dotem. There is no competition for Dotem. I just feel like he has been nothing but vulnerable. They have laughed, had good vibes. They were experienced in New Orleans. They were in New Orleans. They were having a ball. They did the Norla Classics, which is a race. They were wearing like tutus and boa, and he was such a good sport. You know, they were having great energy with each other, getting them through this race. Because our girl Charity is not a runner. She does not run, and how can she run with this tall guy next to her? This tall guy next to her, oh my God, she would be dragged. I can't even imagine. So they have a cute little dinner and they're just being cute, so smitten. But what really did it for me to let me know that this man is not playing around with Charity is that he expresses to her that he is falling in love. Sorry, he is definitely falling in love with her. And let's put emphasis on that definitely, because most of these guys cannot say definitely how are they feeling. They do that whole roundabout. They don't know how they feel. Maybe this, maybe that. But this is a whole man expressing that he is definitely falling in love with Miss Cherry. And child, our girl, her face was so, she was smiling from cheek to cheek, and I was smiling too. I'm like, thank you. This was the saving grace of this whole episode because this is what we wanted. We wanted to see our girl fall in love. No more tears. There's no more tears left to cry. I just want her to smile and be happy. And you could tell that confirmation, she was like nodding yes. She's like, this is exactly what she wanted to hear. She loved that she ate that whole moment up, and I was so proud of our guy, Dylan. So yeah, he definitely locked in, and he's gonna be up and ready and available for the hometown visit. So we're gonna see his family, his people. So I'm hoping all the positivity for those two. So guys, it is time for the last group date. So we have to say goodbye to Dylan for now. And we have to bring these guys. We have Tanner. We have Aaron on this date. And we were supposed to have Sean. Sean was also invited to this date. But, he was eliminated because, he could not handle that Dalton got a rose and that, Charity was not seeing their relationship compared to the others as advancing. So Sean is not going on this date. But Xavier is on this date too. And, I had, I had Xavier. I feel like Xavier, let's digest. Let's get into this group date. So this group date left me happy, confused, and then really confused. I was really confused. So first, let's get into our guy Aaron. Now Aaron, he really did shock me. Aaron, he he knows when to turn it up and turn it down. Okay, he is very mature, because with Aaron, even though he hasn't been getting that one-on-one time, he's been showing up and being there for Charity where he feels what is necessary. He expresses to Charity in a soft way that, he wants that Charity glow. He wants to have that one-on-one. He wants to grow the relationship with Charity in the most respectful way without making Charity feel like, she's neglecting him or anything like that. There was no guilt in what he had to say. Rather, he was nothing but positive in saying he wants this to continue. He wants this to flourish. And, Charity, she acknowledges that. She appreciates Aaron being there. He's very chill and, vulnerable at the same time. So I was not shocked after this conversation, but he gets a rose, guys. And I thought he was not on the top of my bucket list for who's getting the next rose. He was not on the top of the charts for me. But I see it and I understand it. I just want to see more of that chemistry. So I just want to, because he's a little bit serious and she's a little bit serious. I want them to kind of melt and mush together. If they're feeling the whole moment. Now with Tanner, in her conversation with Tanner, we gotta think about it. Aaron. Now Tanner was tennering, okay? Tanner was tennering and he wasn't opening up. He's not taking these opportunities. If anything, he's creating more doubt because he's very hesitant that his first one-on-one with Charity is gonna be when she meets his family. So of course our girl is like, oof, oof. she don't want to hurt his feelings. She want to protect his feelings. So we got to put Tanner on pause. Now, when we get to Xavier surprised me because he has been vulnerable with her, but he also now expresses some doubt. He says that for him to propose to somebody, he has to have zero doubts. Is that even possible? Even the best relationships, you're gonna have a little bit of cold feet. Okay, that's the saying is there for a reason. Everybody gonna have a little cold feet. Okay, a little cold feet. So from him saying that, I could kind of sense that Charity was like feeling like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Even me, I'm feeling like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Because Charity, she just had a one-on-one date with Dalton, and he said, definitely, child. She needs to go back to it definitely because she don't have to deal with no maybe, I don't know kind of man. She wants a man that knows. So Xavier was letting me down, and our girl, she felt like neither of these men could got a rose at that moment. She said she needs more time. Our girl needs more time, and we are with our girl Charity. Because why? She's the Bachelorette. So she takes more time. It's later in the evening, and she decides to have a talk with Tanner. And I guess she assessed that how serious of meeting people's families are, that she decided not to put Tanner through this situation. And I respect that because I don't think Tanner, poor baby, could go through that. He couldn't go through that. So she politely tell him that she feels quite nervous, and he feels the same way, obviously and clearly. So she sends him back home and says that he's a great person, but she doesn't see it like continuing further along to go to hometowns. So Tanner has to go, guys, and Tanner on my cutie pie is eliminated, and I saw him as one of the top people on my charts. So I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But if one thing for sure, I'm doing. He's on the top of the chart. He's leading. So Tanner gotta go. So Tanner is gone, and she has to talk with Xavier. But I feel like Xavier didn't read in between the lines. Because how I took the conversation, she said that she doesn't have to give a third. No, she doesn't have to give a fourth rose. So the three guys that are remaining, um, which is Aaron, Zelton, it's not Brandon. Who's the other guy remaining? Hold up. Oh, wait. Who's the other guy remaining? Guys, I am so confused. Oh, I forgot. Probably because he hurt my feelings, Joey. So yeah, she was telling to Durden that, she doesn't have to give a fourth rose, which means clearly she sees her potential. She sees her future with either Durden, which we're rooting for, Joey, which I'm confused, but we have to see. He's on pause, and Aaron, our wild card for me. She says she's good with those three. So Xavier didn't read in between the lines, but she ends up giving him the rose, and he accepts. So he is accepting to continue with this process. But I'm concerned. I am scared because Xavier was doing well the previous episode, but for him getting into his head, his inner saboteur is taking over, is driving the whole situation. And I feel like he should really, trust his feeling. Like Charity is such a sweetheart. She's such a good person, but it's great to see Charity being open to all these relationships, and you see a kind of a little bit different side of her, what these guys bring out of her. But I get such great comfort with Dilton. Like I feel so sure with Dilton. With Joey, because I saw that preview, I am nervous. And with Aaron, guys, I do have to say, I feel like with Aaron, she's gonna feel safe with Aaron too as well. Aaron, the way he's been tackling all these scenarios, he's pretty level-headed, not too much emotion, but not without either as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So she has great picks available for her. So, we have our girl back. I want to know, who do you guys think is gonna take this all the way? And who do you think should go home? Or do you think that it was right for the guys who were eliminated to be eliminated? I want to know. Let's share. Let's talk it out in the comments. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, share as much kindness as possible. I love you guys and see you guys next week for a new recap of The Bachelorette. And I'm going to give it a title. You best believe that. Bye, guys.